G'day and welcome to the news. Tomorrow's news, yesterday. On tonight's program, what we have is a man from New Zealand during lockdown who has put half a loaf of bread, that's right, half a loaf of bread for sale on Trade Me, which is New Zealand's answer to eBay. We are going to cross now to the land of the sheep enjoyer and speak to user Reef12. Hello, user Reef12.
Good evening, Cavies, and that is Reef 12. You don't count 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, you count 11, 12. Look wonderful, by the way.
Well, let's be honest. We're going to keep user 12 a dozen a secret. So, Dave Elliason, welcome to the news, mate. Tell us about you putting on half a loaf of bread for sale on Trade Me and what has come out of that.
Well, with the usual amount of planning, KB, which was zero, at a whim on Wednesday night, pulled a loaf of bread out of the fridge to dispatch, sat it on the bench and decided, hang on a minute, there's potential here. Took a photo, fired it onto Trade Me, and as they say, the rest's history.
Mate, you have had thousands and thousands of messages. Can you tell us what did the bids get up to, mate?
It's been a bit of a roller coaster. We started out, we were sitting around that 100 mark, and as you say, had a lot of people locked in. We're up to, I think it's near on 350,000 views now. There's about 3,000 people watching, and had a variety of bids. We roller coastered up to over the weekend while everybody was on the juice Friday night. It got up to $3,000. And then, of course, all the dudders that didn't ask mum first to bid had to pull them out the next day. So we rolled back down to, we're around about 560 now. Early this evening, bearing in mind it's earlier here than it is there. We got up to 25,000, yay. But we're back down at 560 again. So there's a lot of rubbish trawling around.
Yeah, so you have a lot of, let's face it, genuine knobheads want to be part of the game and being absolute knobheads, really, aren't they? I mean, what is it? Is it a half-cut loaf?
It's got more fur on it than you at the moment, to be fair, and I've had a lot of questions about that, but it's looking like one of the earliest penicillin experiments. But yeah, it's five slices and 2 crusts. And I didn't realise there was a second crust in there until I took a decent look once we got to about 100,000 views.
Well, mate, you've been flat out with it. Now, some of the questions that you've been asked, of course, on Trade Me is, can I use it to wipe my ass?
Yep. So we had that one, and that was the answer to that was ask mum first.
Another question that came up is, I am desperate to win this auction. If I throw in a harp as well as cash, could you use it to pull a few strings on my behalf?
Yeah, that was quite late in the piece one night. So my hands are that busy, I couldn't pull pork, let alone a string. So yeah, which was dead right. I've got a thumb like a tennis racket at the moment from texting.
Mate, well, with thousands of views, and you've been recognised as one of the prolific answerers on anything that has gone for item for sale on Trade Me. And of course, here is another question that you've been asked, mate. I must apologise for the earlier question regarding muesli. That was my wife impersonating me. Needless to say, bugger the birdseed. Let's get real. I've been married for 25 years. can you guarantee it's fresh, easy to toast, and won't burn me in the morning?
Oh, we all know where this is heading, Cavies. The bread or your missus?
and, he and he responded back with, I'll throw in the anchor and the bait board.
Hey, yeah, we've actually carried on from that as well. Whoops, I fell back a little bit there. Yeah, we've moved a bit forward from there, which is quite funny. And since the boat's back on the agenda, and he offered to throw in his sister-in-law as well. But, yeah, the same deal. It was the bread or your missus, I think.
So you have all of these people around New Zealand and now the world trying to offer families, boats, all that type of thing. And look, here's another question. Look, see me right with this. No buttering me up, because I might be the one. Give me a slice of the action. Tell me none of these pieces of bread have been on the floor or been licked by the dog. And I want to know there has been no dog shit on the bread.
Righto, so don't have a dog, only 2 refugee camels, and the bread hasn't been on the floor, only stuck on the roof.
Now, one of the questions that seems to be very, very popular on this thread is, what condition is the little plasticky thing in?
Rooted. Long gone.
Oh, Dave Elliason, it has been an absolute cracker. It is amazing the amount of people. And just, again, remind us how many people have viewed this ad in New Zealand alone.
We'd be running the country if it was votes. It's close approaching 400,000 views through the night. The notifications in here sound like a pinball machine. The bloody things pinging and pinging and pinging. It's over 750 questions, which I've answered all of, the good, the bad, the ugly. And there's nearly 4,000 followers. So it just keeps going. It's been a fantastic journey, to be fair, in terms of, I guess, mental health, and get on to that in a minute. But yeah, just some of the humor's been unbelievable.
Mate, look, I've read through nearly all of those questions and answers. It is just amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, go to trademe.co.nz. Look in the search engine of that, part of a loaf of bread for sale. Now, Dave, you said that the serious bidding is now up to $560. Now, what is happening with that money at the end of the day?
Okay, so we picked two charities, Cavies, both of them pretty big on my agenda, and one is Ronald McDonald House in Wellington. Will be putting half of the money that we end up getting off the auction to Ronald McDonald House, which is, if you're not familiar with, in Australia, is like a boarding hostel for when you're stuck in hospital with your children. So we had the opportunity to stay there when my daughter had heart surgery when she was born, in both Wellington and in Starship in Auckland. The other half, which is, we're all big fans of Mike King. Mike King spoke at my workplace to 200 of us about mental health quite a while ago, and the other half of the charity is going to I Am Hope, which is Mike's. I call it a crusade, but it's Mike's, journey. So anything that we can do to help, we are. And the benefits that we've seen here, with mental health, has been fantastic.
Oh, mate, that is absolutely brilliant. Sharing the loot and the overall winning bid. Now tell us, when does the auction finish? And I also believe that you are to be on one of the major news services coming up soon in New Zealand.
Yeah. My understanding was I was on that now, but the
of course, correct.
So we did a small article on stuff the other day, which sort of started it off a little bit, which is very, very cool. I've done a couple of talks on the radio. My premier news report right here, and we've got a secondary one on Tuesday night, TV1 New Zealand, 7 sharp, which is 7 o'clock. So that is basically 24 hours before the auction ends, and that's when I'm hoping that it'll start to get serious. If you have the opportunity and you want a bit of a laugh, get into the auction. As I say, there's over 700 questions. Scroll through. Some of it is, to be fair, pretty damn hilarious.
Mate, your answers have been absolutely great, Dave. I do believe that, New Zealand is having a look now at the man who is going to be New Zealand's brightest up-and-coming comic. Now, Dave, I think that what you and I should do, we should go on tour. We should start at the Upukanaro pub, the Upuk pub, there on a Friday night when I'm allowed back into your wonderful country. And then we should drive all the way, that entire 8 kilometres, and then do another show at Coops's Bar in there in Wanganui. And I think we'll call that a national tour.
Oh, mate, no action from me. Tough crowd at UPUK, but definitely in at Cooper's. In at Cooper's would be great fun. So we'll go and see Michelle and Coops, and that'd be awesome.
No worries at all. Well, Dave Elliason, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank user Reef12.
That 12.
12. It's a dozen. Right. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is your news brought to you by me. I am Caveman. Tomorrow's news yesterday. And next episode, we are going to be delving into the situation where Satanists, that's right, people who worship Satan, are attempting to push Satanism into Queensland schools. Is that right? That can't be right. Is that right? It is right. Where Satanism is attempting to be pushed into Queensland schools' curriculum under the guise of religion. Ladies and gentlemen, have a very wonderful night, and we'll see you soon on The News.